The late Njeri Mugo was a dual citizen of Kenya and the United States of America and daughter to Professor Micere Githae Mugo and Dr. John Njuguna Mugo. She passed on 4th October at the age of 36 after losing her battle with ovarian cancer in New York, USA. She was born at the Nairobi Hospital in Kenya, but had spent most of her time in the USA with her mother, a renowned writer, scholar, and literature professor at Syracuse University in New York, who was forced into exile in 1983. The family decided to cremate the late Njeri's remains with the assistance of Barnes Garfield Funeral Home in New York. Before the cremation in New York, there was a public body viewing and a memorial service. Then the ashes were interred at the Oakwood Cemetery, still in New York.
We must keep Njeri's legacy alive and commit to supporting Njeri's global children.
The family of the late Njeri arrived in Nairobi with some of the remains on Friday. Njeri's memorial service will be held at the PCEA Loresho Community Church tomorrow from 1:30 p.m. Her ashes will be interred at Baricho in Kirinyaga County on Tuesday at a private family ceremony. Njeri was a mobilizer and a social justice and human rights crusader, just like her mom. She was teaching English in China at the time of her death. Just at the same time, she was preparing to commence her doctoral studies in education. Born in Nairobi, raised in the USA, she battled with cancer far away from home. Such was Njeri's journey, a journey of an educationist with dual citizenship whose remains would eventually be cremated and buried in 2 countries. When Professor Micere Githae Mugo delivered a public lecture at the University of Nairobi in April this year, her daughter, the late Njeri, had not been diagnosed with cancer. The lecture was attended by scholars, human rights crusaders, politicians, and students.
Don't you ever forget, especially if you come from a home where anybody is trying to look down upon you by virtue of a class position, by virtue of elitism, by virtue of money ownership, this or the other, don't you ever allow anybody to violate that space.
Before delivering the lecture, Professor Mugo had been crowned Pan-Africanist of the Year by the University of Dar es Salaam, an award established in honor of the founding president of Tanzania, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. In her book titled From the Heart of My Mind, The Story of Our Journey, that was launched during the public lecture in Nairobi, Professor Micere Mugo fondly refers to her 2 daughters, Mumbigwa Mugo and the late Njeri Mugo, as being active in social change and community work, as well as a source of inspiration to her.